Hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is a beginner's guide to FPL. I will be going through the mistakes that most people do and what FPL is. Let's start. Fantasy Premier League is a game where you can pick 15 players to have in your squad. They will score points when they score, gets an assist, gets clean sheets and so on. There are a budget of 100 million. You can only pick 3 players from each team. During the season, you have 4 different chips. Triple captain, bench boost, free hit and wild card. You get 2 wild cards, but the rest can only be used once. Every time you transfer a player out, it costs 4 points. When you build a squad, don't buy just expensive players. Even though someone is more expensive than the other, it doesn't mean that he is the better FPL asset. If you only buy expensive players, then your squad is not balanced. You need balance because you should have at least 11 players who will score points in your team. Beginners often buy too expensive goalkeepers. This is waste of money because you can only start one goalkeeper each game week. I would advise you to have one goalkeeper who costs 4 million. As I said at the start, you get 4 chips. Triple captain, bench boost, free hit and 2 wild cards. Before each game week you have to select a captain. He will score double the points. But if you use the triple captain chip, then your captain will score triple points. It's a mistake to use this early in the season, because there will be double game weeks later in the season. A double game week is when a team play 2 or more matches within one game week. The bench boost is a chip when players on your bench also score points. When using this chip, you should be 100% sure that all your players will score points. Free hit is a chip where you can change all your players in one game week. When the game week is over, it goes back to the team you had before you used free hit. The wild card is a little different. Like the free hit chip, you can change your whole team. The difference with a wild card is that you keep these players. The players you choose in a wild card will stay and become your new team. You get 2 wild cards per season, but you have to use 1 wild card before game week 16. If you don't, then you'll just have 1. It is very common for beginners to buy center backs and defensive midfielders. In my opinion, this is a mistake. It isn't necessarily a mistake to buy 1 or 2 center backs, but it's much better to buy full backs. They are attacking and will score more points. If you are listening to this, please stay away from defensive midfielders. Many people buy Kante, Fabinho, and Rodri because they are good in real life, but FPL doesn't work that way. Defensive midfielders score almost no points. It is much better to buy an attacking midfielder. These are the most common mistakes that I see people do. They forget the deadline. The deadline for FPL is always half an hour before the game week starts. After that you cannot change players' OG captaincy. You have to wait until the next game week. Missing the deadline could have major consequences for your overall rank. Too many hits. A hit is when you transfer someone. It cost 4 points. My advice would be to take as few hits as possible. The player you bring in have to score more than 4 points to be worth it, and that doesn't always happen. Bench order. It is basically the order you put your players on the bench. If one player in your starting 11 doesn't play, then the first player on the bench will come in. Make sure to think about what order your players are in, before the game week. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments below if you have done some of these mistakes. Goodbye.